Hey gang, it's Squill, and The Thin Yellow Line is such a unique episode of Adventure Time, kind of underrated in my opinion. Despite coming near the end of Season 7, story-wise it could be pulled straight out of the first 4 or 5 seasons, with Finn and Jake partaking in a job given to them by PB. And this feeling, as if this episode could come from the earlier seasons, is increased by all of the wacky facial expressions. This episode is guest storyboarded by KC Green in his only credit in the series. He is the illustrator of the ever so iconic This Is Fine Dog comic. And in addition to that, he has created various other webcomics throughout the course of his career. And his cartoony art style totally shines through in this episode. Seriously, Finn and Jake get so many great expressions in this one, especially Jake, making this one of the best looking episodes in the original series in my opinion. I am gonna have a tough time picking only 4 screenshots for the thumbnail for this one. There's so many good options here. But I like the way this episode uses its framework as a classic feeling episode to say something new about PB. Typically, episodes like this are done to show off a morally gray aspect of PB's personality. Take an episode like Princess Cookie for example. In this one, she has Finn and Jake go undercover to handle a hostage situation. Except midway through the episode, we learn that PB is the reason why the situation is even happening in the first place. This episode sorta takes the opposite approach to Princess Cookie. This one also has Finn and Jake go undercover, but it's not revealed what PB's motivation is until the very end. This, combined with the way the banana guards are shown to view PB in the episode, may mislead the viewer into thinking that PB is up to something bad again. So it's a nice little subversion when we see PB reward Banana Guard 16 for his graffiti art. Really shows just how much he's grown since the end of Season 6. There's something just so undeniably wholesome about seeing PB embrace the Banana Guard's talents. I dare any PB hater to watch the scene and still think she's a bad person. Oh man, I haven't even talked about the actual graffiti art in this episode. So many cool references here. We see the swan that PB occasionally rides, Lemon Grab and the fact that PB has tampered with his mind on multiple occasions, as well as the fact that the 2 Lemon Grabs have been stitched into one. We see Goliath and Stormo, Uncle Gumball locked up. We see Marceline in her bat form, possibly representing their strained relationship. We see Nettie clinging to a tree right next to the mother gum. I gotta say, it's interesting just how much the Banana Guards truly know about PB, even if a lot of it is misinformed. Like, we get our first appearance of Uncle Gumball here, foreshadowing his reveal in Season 10. Except he was turned into a candy person and not a monster, as well as the fact that it was his own fault, as he would have done the same to PB otherwise. Her imprisoning Nettie under the candy tree is flat out false, as Nettie stays there under his own volition. Her icing the Rattleballs is definitely the closest to being true. However, even that's missing the context that they were dangerous and too violent to be in the Candy Kingdom. But although the Banana Guards have a misinformed view of PB, I do really like what this episode has to say about artistic expression. How good art often does challenge your worldview and make people uncomfortable. Art that challenges or goes against the way we think can often be the most enlightening. This is even sort of reflected by Finn and Jake's arc in the episode, where at the beginning Jake loves the art piece and Finn just doesn't get it. But by the end, Finn learns to appreciate the art, and Jake is the one who busts Banana Guard 16 for it. It's funny, this is basically the exact same arc they have in Bonnie and Nettie. I think this dynamic was funnier in that episode, to be honest, but I appreciate it whenever the brothers are shown disagreeing with each other. Because of Cartoon Network's weird reorder, this episode is now technically the finale of Season 7, and you can tell that it was not intended to be. But while this one doesn't have the same grand scale as episodes like Preboot and Reboot, the intended Season 7 finale, there are aspects of this that I do appreciate being at the end of the season. I really appreciate the way PB's role in this episode parallels her role at the start of the season. At the start of Season 7, we saw how Bonnie operates without a kingdom. How she built her entire identity around managing her citizens, and now feels lost without it. It contrasts beautifully against the Bonnie we see in this episode. A version of her who is taking a much more lads approach to managing her people. One who is far less of a control freak. All in all, this is just a delightful episode. One that is incredibly fun and entertaining, while still having a lot to say about PB's character and artistic expression. To be honest, I kinda regret not putting this one on my Season 7 Top 10 list I did over a year ago. But with that, please let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments, and have a good one. Squill out.